So we've been in the West in terms of Western civilization and culture, and now we're going to move further toward the East. And this particular chapter deals with Eastern thought, a little bit of everything covered in terms of the East with Buddhism and Confucianism and ancient Chinese religions, Taoism, but a little bit of touch on Hinduism. Really, this is an excellent opportunity to read a piece of literature, an ancient text, a sacred text of Hinduism that you probably wouldn't, under most normal circumstances, have the opportunity to read. But it is a selection from the Bhagavad Gita. And this is really a story about Krishna and his he has an encounter with another guy, Arjuna, and they're in the midst of this great battle. And two really profound philosophical ways of looking at the world are outlined in the selection of text you're going to read. And I want you to keep that as your focus. There's two ways to look at Arjuna's dilemma, his struggle, his inner turmoil he has about this situation, and both are given by Krishna. So pay attention for that. To go along with this selection of reading, because the reading is a little bit dense. It's of a different time period, of a different culture. It's going to read a little bit differently than things you may be used to. But I've also included a kids animation version of the Bhagavad Gita, and it's not very long, but I'm going to watch it. And so keep in mind what's going on in the video. Think in terms of what the text says as well. And also know that this module brings us to a close. And that means that there will be two things that are very important for you to be aware of at this point. We're going to have an exam that covers the last 7 chapters, and we're also going to have to submit your 2 papers that are from this module. So your 2 critical response papers for this module are also due by the end of the module. So basically, Sunday night at 11:59, that's the cutoff point. Once we hit midnight of the first day of the next module, it's technically late. But hopefully, you have not waited until now to think about writing both papers. I hope to have encouraged you up to this point to be very cognizant that they're due, and that you can write them and submit them at any point throughout the module. Waiting to the last minute is probably not the best solution to this idea. Just keep that in mind, kind of in general, for the rest of your life, really. Being king or queen of the last minute isn't as exotic as it may sound. So, we're coming to an end of this module. There'll be an exam, and then there will be 2 papers based on the readings or the films or the primary readings. And which of those are acceptable are clearly outlined in the guidelines for this assignment, which I will have made very clear where that's posted so that you have access to it. And cool. So that brings us to a close of looking at this very first module collection of chapters, and we'll move into the next module.